Hey guys, how you doing? Happy New Year! 2020 is upon us, and I'm sure all of us are pretty curious to see how this year unfolds for all of us. And so, this is something I've been wanting to try for a while. I don't know. You tell me how you like it. I will wait to hear your comments and your likes and all of that. But see, here's the thing, this is a pick a card reading, and I have four piles of cards that I've already pulled. I've shuffled the decks and pulled the cards and all of that. And you have these four stones. This is the citrine, this is a labradorite, this is a rose quartz, and this is amber. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to focus on these stones or these card piles, whatever draws you in, and pick one, right? And once that is done, go into the video description, and there's a timestamp for each of these piles that if you I think click on it, then you will jump to that time in the video, and then you can see what the prediction is for these piles. And before you do that, I just want to quickly acknowledge the decks that I have used here. I'm going to be using the beautiful Sasurai Bito Tarot deck to look at the general outlook for each of these. Then I'm going to be using the Steampunk Tarot deck to look at the work and finances and career and that aspect, like broadly that aspect of your life. Then I'm going to be using the lovely Secret Tarot deck. That's the name of the deck. It's called Secret Tarot. I'm going to be using that one for the love and romance kind of relationships, all that aspect of your life. Then I'm going to be using the Dreaming Way Lenormand deck to do a little spread and see, what guidance the cards have to offer for you for the upcoming year, right? How to make the best of the year and so on. And then, of course, a little tiny spread from the Inner Landscape Oracle, for the inner work that you need to do, because that's how we roll, right? All right, so take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and then jump to the pile that calls to you. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, your tarot blogger, deck and book reviewer, and maker of these awesome videos on YouTube. I'm also a tarot card reader and mentor, and an author of this awesome book on tarot, which is available on Amazon, both paperback and Kindle, all over the world. Now, all of these links and more are in the description, so do check that out. And at the end of this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more such awesome tarot videos. Alrighty, so if you have chosen pile number 1, this lovely bunch of cards that were assigned to the beautiful, beautiful stone, the citrine stone, then this is your reading. And this is going to be interesting because, like I said, we are looking at all the different areas. This is your general, there we go, the general outlook. Then we're looking at work and finances and money and all of that. Then we have romance, we have the guidance and the inner work. So I'm going to be putting these aside for a bit, and I'll be, pulling at them later as we go. Let's start with the general outlook, and this is how I'm doing it, right? We're looking at the past, the present, and then each of the 4 quarters. That's yeah, I think that's pretty good, right? So we really get a big picture. But remember, this is the tarot, right? And we are looking at each quarter separately, which means that it's still a big picture outlook. And of course, that's why I have taken different focus areas to look at, so that way we do get a broader perspective. But not being pushy at all, but if you do need a very detailed analysis and look at what your 2020 holds, you can just as well order the annual reading from me, and I will put a link up top in there, so you can go see how I do my annual reading. And this will be very specific and personal to you. And enough with the self promo. Let me get to this one. All right. So let's look at the general energy coming in from the past, and we have the Hermit. Wow. So you have spent most of last year thinking, being by yourself, sometimes even, just a lot of solitude. The Hermit is all about solitude. The Hermit is all about looking within. Even if you were surrounded by people, it's an inevitable. You can't literally go and sit by yourself in the mountain unless that's what you did. But if that's what even if you were surrounded by people, you've always isolated your deepest thoughts from them. Something deep has been brewing inside of you. That's the energy where you're starting from. There's a lot of introspection and a lot of time spent in going over what happened, how did it happen. There's a lot of wisdom too coming from that Hermit. There's a lot of that experience based wisdom that you have accumulated. It could also be that the previous year, like a significant part of it, or there were significant portions of it where you spent maybe researching something, looking something up, studying something, trying to figure something out, looking really deep, deep, deep into something that interests you, or something that pulls at you, whatever it may be. But there is a lot of deep inner learning. That's the place you're coming from. And right here, right now, we have the Four of Swords reversed. Now, this is your present moment. You have been trying to find a way, I would say, to implement that knowledge, to implement that wisdom into your day-to-day life, but not necessarily finding the right method or the right track or the right process. Because see, the amount of wisdom that you have gleaned really from the past is a lot. That's just so much beautiful wisdom, and putting all of it into practice, or trying to implement each and every single nugget of it, this is wearing you down. You're making a couple of mistakes, or you're goofing up here and there. Trial and error seems to be more like the thing. But what I would suggest, just looking at this card, take it easy. All right, take it one step at a time. Don't work yourself into a frenzy, or in a big rush that I just want to do this, and put everything out there, because you're going to make mistakes, and that's how you're going to learn. So don't be in a rush really to implement every single thing. Take it one step at a time. That is the guidance of this card too, right? Learn your lessons, yes, but when you're implementing them, one step at a time, a little bit, slowly, incrementally. All right. So now let's look at how things will be, like in the quarters of, the 4 quarters of the year. Quarter number one, first quarter, that is January, February, March, and April. We have Justice reversed. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is the overall outlook. Okay. So Justice reverse, there will be too many decisions that you will be needing to take. There will be sometimes some decisions that will be really, really tough to make as well. There will be decisions you will avoid taking. There will be decisions you will take but avoid implementing. It's all about taking decisions. Now, if you have been involved in some sort of a legal battle, court case, or some kind of red tape, paperwork, I see delays, I see issues over there. So again, this is a broader picture. So, look into these issues, because the justice is all about taking decisions, whether it is legal, whether it is, other spaces of your life. This is the general view, so it can cover everything. So look at what these decisions are. Where are you going wrong? What are the hurdles that are being presented to you? What are the lessons here? Because justice is also karmic lessons. What is it that you are not really learning? Coming from this wisdom of the Hermit, really, as you're trying to implement everything and, well, not necessarily making 100% of go of it. Maybe you're being too hasty. Maybe you're not implementing the right lesson. What is it that you are not doing right, which is causing delay, or what is not being done right, which is causing a delay? Ultimately, justice asks you really to think about this very clearly. If there are decisions that you are not implementing, what is stopping you from implementing them? If there are decisions that you are not necessarily being able to, figure out, make a pros and cons list. And if that doesn't help, you need to really dive deep and ask yourself, what is it that you truly want? The first quarter will really, really make you reflect on these. Okay, we'll look at, there's more, sure, I'm, in the different areas, but this is what first quarter will be all about. The second quarter, we have the world card, again reverse, which is not a bad thing, right? So we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. No, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it's three months. Ha ha. Okay, sorry. So April, May, and June, we have the world card reverse. Now, this is something you are looking at the big picture. These are major arcana cards. 2020 is really big for you, right? You are looking at the real big picture of your life. You're trying to assess, where am I going? What am I doing? What is the big goal of my life? What is the big aim of my life? What do I really want from my life? And in the second quarter, especially after justice reverse in the first quarter, in the second quarter, as you come at this world card reverse, you're going to realize that you maybe need to do some course correction. You need to maybe shift the plans a little bit. You realize that, the delays and the hurdles, they are what they are, but to change that energy, you need to put in some work. You are not a victim of fate. You are never meant to be a victim of fate. You have been presented with some situations and circumstances, but how you handle it is up to you, and that changes everything. This is the big picture outlook that you're going to have to look at, and that you're going to have to assess for yourself. Use this wisdom and really, really, where are you failing at implementing your decisions, or what decisions do you really need to take that you're avoiding? That has a profound effect on your second quarter, really. And that is where you will need to bring about that change, that shift, that energy. Otherwise, everything is well within your reach. Then how is it that you're not achieving it, right? So try harder may not always work. Maybe you need to shift that path in a different direction, or maybe do it a different way, and you might achieve it. That is probably the guidance that is coming through here. Coming to the third quarter, July, August, and September, you get the 9 of Wands. Now this is interesting because finally things are moving for you, but in a very, very careful way. The cards are advising you to take things slow, take things careful. Don't have to necessarily rush right out of the gate now that you have started the shift. Be careful, be cautious, and do everything, logically, clearly, following these experiences of the past. Of course, you're going to be cautious, but don't be overly cautious, but don't be, careless either. Follow that path that is coming to you and what is opening out to you. Follow it, and clearly you will see things that, opening up. Just don't be in a rush to make everything happen all at once. That is all. And finally, for the last quarter of the year, you get the Star card. Look at that. That's your fourth major arcana. That is powerful stuff. All right. And the Star card promises positivity, hope, and good fortune all around. So all of this work that you are putting in over here, and this careful, considered approach that you're having here, it is starting to finally pay off. Finally, you will see the way things happen beautifully, and you will feel that powerful connection with the universe. Finally, that hope, that positivity, that joy, that good fortune, everything starts to work out for you. And in the fourth quarter, you will see. But see, here's the thing. This is a result of all the hard work that you are putting in. This is not, if I say to you, skip the first 3 quarters and just come to the fourth quarter, this will not work like that. You will have to go through this. You will be put through your paces. So be aware of this. The This is what I always say to people, that fortune and destiny and all of that, and your will and your hard work, it's all intertwined. Everything is cause and effect. Okay, enough with the philosophy, but here you go. This was the general outlook. Now let's look at very specifically to do with the career and work aspects. So first up we have the past, and so in the past you get the navigator of airships. So that is your knight of swords here in the reverse. So again, at work, maybe you have been trying to resolve many things. Maybe you have been trying to fix many issues, many problems, but failing. This is the energy coming in from the past. It was crazy, crazy, crazy busy maybe these past few weeks, months, or even the whole entire year. You've been, running around trying to fix everything, but not necessarily achieving what you set out to achieve. This could also be a result of you not necessarily being very, very clear about what it is that you are trying to achieve, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You have been in that problem solving mode all along, and not being able to clearly, implement maybe all the wisdom that you're getting, or not necessarily in a position to actually drive it in the drive your career in the direction that you have been wanting to drive it to. At present, therefore, here you are. This is the 10 of submersibles, which is 10 of cups reversed. And you're trying really hard to form, look at this, I'm holding this card up. You're trying to form an emotional connection with the people that you work with. You're trying to form an emotional bond with people that you work with, your friends, your colleagues, all of that. And it's working in some parts, it's not working in other parts, and so you're basically giving it your best shot. But ultimately you think that the reason why in the past things were all clashy and not going in the right direction, or people were not working well together, it could be because the bond is not there. There's no clarity of purpose. There's people are not coming together, and that's probably where you think that you need to put in work. Perhaps maybe it's a good idea. Why not, right? Keep at it. It's not necessarily that right at the first try everything's going to work out. Now let's see, first quarter we have the apprentice, which is equivalent to the fool card. So you're going to be wanting to try something out. You're going to be wanting to try some new things in the first quarter. New projects come your way, new business comes your way, new ideas, new approaches, and you're feeling the positive vibe maybe coming in from this 10 of submersibles reverse. You're really, really feeling positive and upbeat about everything, and you want to jump right in without really thinking twice. You know how it is, just take that leap of faith. Do that, I guess, but I would advise a little bit of caution here. I would advise you to just make sure you know where you're going and what you're jumping into. But definitely a lot of new things happen in the first quarter. Again, some of you might take up a new job, some of you might take up a new career, some of you might start something new, like a new business venture. Some of you might even actually, or if you're in a job or in a career or whatever it is that you're doing, a new project might begin, something like that. Definitely in the first quarter, there are a lot of these lovely beginnings. The second quarter, you have the 9 of airships, that in the reverse. So this is your typical 9 of swords card. And in the reverse, it basically says a lot of your worries and a lot of your anxieties start to fall away. Look, let me hold that card up for you so you can see better. Look at this guy, how tensed and worried this guy is. It's just like, my God. But in the reverse, it's a promise that a lot of the things that you thought, I will have to worry about this, I will have to be tensed about this, or things that may have, kept you up at night with worry, you will find that in the second quarter, finally, these things do start easing out. The tension is released, the worry is released. There's a better energy, there's a better feeling surrounding all the work stuff that you do, even the bonds that you're trying to create with people, that sort of thing might even find you might find a lot of ease and release over there. And you will see, yourself even relaxing, your anxieties reducing, your tensions reducing. It's a This card is giving me a very good feeling. So in effect, I see that the efforts that you're putting in with, bonding people, helping people come together, they will, pay off over here. Even in terms of your projects here, if things you've started and you're like, okay, I don't know how this works out, you might see that things do start working out a little bit better, and a lot of your worries kind of reduce. Now, third quarter, you get the cyborg, which is typically the card 15, which is your devil card, right? And this card basically tells me you will be busy. You will be literally caught in the caught in the grind of work. It will be a very busy time period, third quarter. Okay, you will be really, really, really literally chained to your desk, kind of a busy, okay, working like a robot, kind of a busy. And it's a good time to make money. It is a good time to make deals, contracts, and that sort of thing going. And definitely, but then all of this, they will make you work. They will put you to work. It will not be simply, oh, I sign a deal and I get a fat paycheck. Nope. They will make you work. Okay, that is the energy here. You work, 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 and you get tons of money, yes, but you have to work, 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 and work like crazy. And finally, in the fourth quarter, you get the Navigator of Engines, which is your Knight of Pentacles. Oh, sorry. Here's the card. This is your Knight of Pentacles. Again, in the reverse. Things do start moving here with the Navigator of Engines. It's a little slower than what you expect, but they are moving. They are moving forward in a beautiful direction. Things are coming together for you. Things are finally starting to practically manifest and make sense for you. So fourth quarter, it's also good. Oh, look at that work. Now let's come to love and relationships. Love and romance and relationships. And again, this is the beautiful Secret Tarot deck. Are we in the frame? Okay. So past. Here we go. What is this? Oh, this is the Death card, right? The Death card in the reverse. This is a very interesting energy. The Death card is all about endings, and coming in from the past, this card tells me that maybe you wanted to walk out of something, or maybe a situation, a relationship was ending, but in the reverse, it tells me that somehow you managed to make it not end, or you didn't necessarily walk out when you deep down inside know this is not good for me, but you are not ready to walk out. Whatever it is, an ending has not been allowed to manifest, and we're starting from there. So it's gonna be a rough ride already, I know that, but let's see. Don't look at these upright and reverse cards and say, oh, all the upright cards are going to be pretty good. some upright cards might surprise you, but here we are in the present, where you have the Five of Swords right here, right now. This coming from this, I told you it might just be a rough ride. We have this ending which was not allowed to manifest, maybe because of fear, maybe because of all kinds of things. You feel the uncomfortable with not being with that person. You don't know how to make things work, or you don't know how you'll manage by yourself. There's so many different fears that just show up, and then the Five of Swords happens, and this is in the present, and I see you're going to be having a battle of wills and wits, right, with the other person. with whom you're in this relationship with. So it could be a friendship that's important, that you're looking at, or this could be already a relationship that you are looking at, or this could be, if you're single, right? But again, with that death reverse, right? Maybe you're not unable to let go of a past relationship that's already over. That could also be the case. And here's a battle of will. This is a battle that can be with, if you're with a partner, if you're with a, looking at a significant relationship, you're looking at a situation where you're literally pitting your wits against each other with this person. If you're unable to get over a past relationship, here you are pitting wits against yourself. These are your fears, right? And what is happening is this is creating a very mental conflict for you. Do you walk out? Do you stay? If you stay, then all this happens. If you go, then all these fears come at you. So this is where you're at. So first quarter, we have the 8 of Wands. So no matter what you do, whether you stay or whether you go, this 8 of Wands promises swift, energetic movements in the romance areas of your life. So even if you stay, the first quarter, things might go pretty smooth, in terms of romance, in terms of relationship dynamics. Things will move forward. Okay, there's a lot of that passion, there's a lot of that energy there. If you're single, you may likely find someone, or you may just go on a dating spree. Nothing wrong with that, if you ask me. It's good fun, right? But definitely things are moving positively. So if you conquer your fears at this point, things will go better. If you are conquering your own inner battles, things will move forward. If this relationship, maybe you need to let it go and walk away, things will still move well for you. Okay? Now coming to the second quarter, we have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. So this card basically tells me a lot that you're going to have to let go of a lot of material resources. This is very interesting coming up in a romance reading, but this is what it is. This card talks about having to let go of this big chunk of material resources. So it could be straight up cash, it could be things, it could be savings. So here's my thing to you. With your partner, if or are you going to be spending way too much money, going out, buying things, doing things, that sort of thing? There is a big spending here. And again, lending money to your friends or partner, again, it's your personal preference. I will not say anything, but a definite chunk of money is being let go. This happens in the second quarter. So, the Ace of Pentacles to me also represents all the good, wonderful, real things. Okay. And so whatever is real and actual in your life, a good chunk of it is being let go. I don't necessarily have good feelings here about this situation. So just, pay attention. If you don't want to give these things away, then you don't have to. You can always say no. But if you're giving these things away in the fear that if I don't, then I will lose this other person, then come think about it. Does this person come to you only because you're able to give these things to him or her? How is that a good thing, right? Now, whatever it is, be very, very careful around this energy. Now let's come to the third quarter, and here we have 3 of Cups. So this is some good times in the third quarter. You're going to hang out with your friends. Now again, this could be just by your friend circle. This could be friend circle with your significant other. Y'all could be entertaining, y'all could be getting entertained, all of that. There's definite, the energy vibe is, getting together, partying, interacting with other people, hanging out. So it could be as a couple, or it could be, singly, or whatever it is, but definitely there's a lot of that good cheer, good, interaction with other people. There's a bunch of drinking involved, so a word of caution there, don't go overboard. All right. Now let's come to the fourth quarter, and here you have the Six of Wands. Wow. Six of Wands is all about success. Six of Wands is all about triumphing over difficult odds and situations. So the battle of wits here. Somewhere there is, ultimately there is this victory. Now, this could manifest in various different ways. If you are finally walking away from this person, then you will achieve a successful transition, right? So you will be able to walk away, and you will be able to go out there. You will be able to figure your way out in the world, and you will be successful at it by by end of fourth quarter. You will be like, okay, I'm fine. The fears that had grappled you at the outset of the year, you will have conquered those fears, right? So you see, there's always a good end to that story. If you are single, then again, going through all these situations, by the end of it, whether you're in a relationship or whether you are not in a relationship, one way or the other, you will have conquered all these ups and downs. So regardless of what happens in between, you will emerge the victor here. So again, choose your final sort of path carefully as you walk down this road, because yes, you will emerge victorious, but sometimes you need to make choices that will empower you. Okay, I'm only saying all these because I see these two cards right at the outset. Okay. All right. Next up, of course, we have the Lenormand cards to guide us about what is the best way to make the best of this year. And we have letter, fox, man, tower, and ship. Wow. Okay. So you have to be very, very careful and cunning with all the information, communication, and documentation that you get, regarding a man, and even communicating with a man. You need to be very smart. And this is a man. He could be in your, company, or he could be someone you're going to have to interact with. Someone who works in an organization. Someone also who might be very isolated. Okay, so you have to be very smart and be very, very cunning as you are, communicating with this person or whatever. If there's an exchange of documents, letters, emails, all of that, paperwork, right? See, paperwork. So all of that you have got, even the court case. There you go, right? So if you're involved in a court case, right, you have to be very cunning. Being cunning is the key for you, because that is the only thing that will finally get things moving for you. With the ship, things will get moving forward. Okay, so you have to be smart handling your documents, your communications, your interactions, your emails, all of that with this guy, be it from a big company, court, or an isolated man, or someone who's isolated himself kind of man. And then ultimately things will get moving for you. This is the key. And finally, inner work, because we cannot escape that. Inner work is the work that you will have to do, deep down inside. Spiritual work, right? We have sage, we have, what is that? Protection, and then we have fair play. Aha, look at that. See how it all connects. So sage is all, and I'm going to read this in a very Lenormand style, okay? So you got to cleanse yourself, you got to cleanse your energy, you got to cleanse your aura, you got to cleanse your space. Cleansing is the key. You're literally getting rid of all the negative vibes so that you can create, then once all the stuff has been cleansed out, then you can install that aura of protection or layer of protection around you, in order to ensure that whatever happens from this point forward, you will do it fairly, you will do it ethically, morally, all of that. You have to play fair. But before you do that, you got to get rid of all the energetic debris, and the energetic negativity and darkness, or whatever, all the stuff that has accumulated, that you have generally just accumulated or just stuck onto you. Get rid of that, cleanse it, and then once it's all clean and nice, you can put that protective, sort of layer around it, and then you're gonna play fair, and they will have to play fair with you too. So this is your inner work. This is what you're supposed to do, during the year while all of this unfolds for you. Wow. Okay. So this is your sort of prediction for 2020, Citrine. And again, like I said earlier, if you need a much more in-depth and much more sort of month by month by month kind of a reading for your year, and more, this, because this is like, pretty general. You might relate to some sections of it, you might not relate to some sections of it. So if you need a much more focused, more accurate sort of a reading for yourself, then please get in touch with me and we can figure out the annual reading. You can go ahead and book it from my side. I'll put the links in the video description. And yeah, and we'll, let's see what the cards have to say for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and I will see you again in my next video. Please, in the comments, let me know which stone you selected, how it resonated, so on and so forth. And please, of course, hit the like button if you like this. And I guess I will see you again in my next video. Till then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now. Hey guys! So you chose the second pile, which is the pile for Labradorite. I love this stone. It's a nice one. This reading will be, kind of divided into 3 areas, or 3 parts, or 4 parts. I don't know, multiple parts. We are looking at the very general sort of outlook. And here we are looking at the past, present, and, for each of the 4 quarters. This is going to be the sort of spread or format. We're looking at work, career, and so forth. We're looking at love, romance, and relationships. And then, of course, we have the Lenormand cards to give us guidance on what is the best way to make the most of this year. And because we cannot escape it, these are the cards I'm going to use for the inner work. So this is the Sasurabito Tarot, this is the Steampunk Tarot, this is the Secret Tarot, Dreaming Whale Lenormand, and the Inner Landscape Oracle. Okay, so we'll open these cards one by one. And of course, before I start, let me just tell you, yes, this is a pretty general sort of a reading. So you might resonate with some parts of it, and you might not resonate with some parts of it. That's kind of natural, normal. But take what connects, and go with that, and leave the rest. And of course, if you want a much more sort of detailed, much more, sort of month by month sort of look at, and which is, focused on you and your energy very specifically, I do offer an annual reading around about this time of the year. And I'll put I've made a video recently showing you how I do that, so I put a link up here for you and you can go check it out. And and then there'll be links in the video description as well. If you like it, you can totally order that reading, and I can just totally do a reading for you very specifically. Meanwhile, Labradorite, here you are. This is a reading for you. This is the general outlook for 2020. So let's look at where you're coming from, which is the past. And you have the Two of Swords reversed. Wow. So finally, you followed through on the decisions that you have taken. Either that, or you have felt that you didn't have much choice. Whatever came, you had to go with it. One way or the other, you had to basically follow through and fall in line with what came your way. And, it may not have been easy, it may not have been simple either, but you did go through a tough sort of inner battle all of last year, and it wasn't easy. Now again, this is just a big sort of, big picture summary here. So, now here's where you're at right now. And oof, say there you go, 10 of Swords. It's 2019 has been rough on you, man. 2019 has been tough, and you have really put yourself through the ringer for this one, right? That 10 of Swords, not an easy card to be in, right? You are, but here's the thing, there is no 11 of Swords, and this is the positive side of this. This is silver lining. This is the most bad it can get, right? It can't get bad, worse than this. It just can't, because this is the peak of it. So it's only going to get better from here on out. That's the whole perspective that I have of this card. But the 10 of Swords is also a very necessary experience. Sometimes you have to come here to start over. Sometimes, you look at this picture, you really, it's not a pretty picture by any means, but this is more, swords are more mental than, this is not like physical swords, but some of you may have gone through some really tough, heartbreaking moments, either physically, mentally, emotionally, or all three. And you guys have really been put through the ringer this last year. And right here, right now, you're like, does this get even better than this? Does this ever get better? And I'm here to tell you, yes, it does, right? Because there's no 11 of Swords, just so you know. So, I'm, and this is not a joke, right? These cards are a reflection of our reality. So ultimately, you are here, but it only gets better from here on out. Whatever it is, it's only better than this. Remember that. So first quarter, you have Knight of Cups. And right away, I'm going to tell you that as time goes by, slow and steady, this is the card of healing, and this is the card of finding the healing, be it from external sources or from internal sources. One way or the other, the Knight of Cups is coming to you. So, right, like I said, it only gets better. There is going to be time to heal. There is going to be time to deal with whatever happened. There's going to be time to even feel your way through all that happened. And there's going to be a time for, going forward slowly and surely, like baby steps. But yes, definitely. It's you're not going to remain static here, but at the same time, you're not going to be thrust right into the maelstrom of stuff as well. So emotionally, you get that time to heal with all that has happened here. And you are like, you do feel much, much better. You are coming back to a place of balance and calm here in the first quarter, and you feel much better. Okay, so wow, I'm getting that healing feeling, right? Healing feeling, how rhyming. Second quarter, we have the Five of Pentacles. This is, this seems to be like a lot of inner work for you, but at the same time, second quarter is also bringing a bit of a tough journey also, right? But here's the thing, because you're centered, because you're focused, right? Even if it's harsh, even if it's tough, you will find a way out of it. You're not going to remain stuck there. But yes, second quarter seems to be, after the healing, it is always going to be tough to start over. And that's where you are at in the second quarter. You are basically starting over, and it's not easy. It's not simple. Okay. And you will be battling all your demons, in not all of them, but many of them, I will say, right? But you will be also conquering them. Remember that. This card is not completely without its hope. You will be conquering your demons, and you will still find a way to heal better. Because here you've healed, but here, after the healing, you've been thrown back in real life here, and you're not giving up. You're not going to walk away. You're not going to say, oh my God, that's it. No, you are going to stand and fight. Even if you're alone, and you might end up being by yourself in this fight, but that's okay. You will survive. You will get through this. That is a promise. Coming to quarter three, here we are, Hierophant reversed. This is very, very interesting, because after all this, you come to this point in the third quarter and you realize something extraordinary. You have broken broken through the barriers of societal conditioning in a way that sets you free. you have also understood the worth and value of the societal conditioning up to a point, of course, but you have also realized that breaking through certain societal conditioning always is a good idea. And not only that, this has given you a unique perspective. You will spend the fourth quarter doing something unusual, or being in being in a space which is very unusual, different from the norm, but at the same time also something that is life affirming, positive, and full of learning and knowledge. And this is brilliant. You might even take up a course, you might even take up some sort of a class which is maybe a little non-traditional, and why not? Some beautiful learning is waiting for you here. And this is not just, this is a combination of something that comes from the wisdom of other people, but also the wisdom of learned experiences. Okay. And come to quarter four, you have Queen of Cups reverse. Now this card is not necessarily bad in the reverse. This one just tells me that ultimately I think you're going to find a way to unlock your emotional potential here. Okay. This queen, if you look at her upright, she's holding this cup close to her heart, and if you see, it's a reflection of the universe in here. Now what happens in the reverse is finally she's able to let go and immerse herself in that whole universe herself. So all that knowledge, all that wisdom, all that healing, all that beautiful experiential wisdom that you are carrying within you, you're now healing yourself and healing others. You're sharing it with others, and you're also bringing something beautiful back to yourself in this process. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful fourth quarter as well. So although it starts out bad, remember, it only gets better, and it does get better. There are some bumps along the road, but it's fine. You overcome them. Okay, so now let's look at the work, career, money, finances, sort of big picture mix of all these things here. The past, you have the Four of Submersibles in the reverse. So let me hold that card up for you. Should you see that? This is basically a card of, you've gone with the flow. You haven't remained static, but it's not necessary that the flow was something desirable for you. You just went along with something that came along, I guess, or you didn't have much of a choice in the matter, but ultimately it wasn't something that you could fully identify with or immerse yourself with or go along with, but you went and did it anyway because you didn't have much choice. Now coming here in the present is the Solarium or the Sun card, but in the reverse. So again, you are seeing the beauty in the painful situation. You are seeing the clarity in the tough sort of results or tough sort of scenarios that did occur as a result of what all this coming from the past was. But you are seeing that silver line, and especially at work there is still a lot of scope, you feel, for exploring the unknown. You feel right here right now you're not feeling as adventurous. You're being very careful, but at the same time you do want to sort of go out there and see what is in store for you. First quarter, you get the Seven of Engines, but in the reverse. Again, let me hold this card up for you so you can get a better look. Okay, so this is you trying to make things work again. It's going to be a very busy time. These first 3 months of the year are going to keep you extremely busy, extremely sort of caught with all the things on your to-do list, and you're trying to manage multiple things at the same time. Maybe this is not a good month for multitasking, or maybe you need to plan things better, schedule things out better. Whatever it is, if you're trying to do multiple things all at the same time, it's going to become overwhelming for you. So better watch out for that. Be careful there. Now, here you have the messenger of Leviathans. That is equivalent to your page of Pentacles. So, some very interesting messages come through related to work, related to career, some beginnings, some things start, some new contracts even are to be signed. But it is essentially what I feel here with this messenger of Leviathans. Things are going to progress, but not at that pace or the amount of money that comes your way. It might not necessarily be a huge chunk. Maybe it starts small, but hey, so what? It's a good start. It's a good place to start and a good project to start as well. So go for it, but keep your expectations, realistic, I would say. Then, coming to the third quarter, you get the cosmic blueprint. This is your world card, right? This is equivalent to the world card. So, beautifully, ultimately, I think the big picture comes into play, and you are now working towards these goals, and things are kind of starting to work out. Everything starts to kind of, move in that direction. So everything starts to kind of go in that direction. All the efforts that you are putting in are starting to show results. All the hard work that you have been putting in is starting to show results. You're seeing, you could even see successful completion of some big long standing projects that are coming in from the past, and you could see the successful implementation and the successful moving forward of several other projects, because you have projects in different stages, and so everything is moving. There's a beautiful energy there of all the parts working together and in harmony there. Okay, so perfection in a certain way. And then finally, in the fourth quarter, you get the four of airships. So there you are. You're going to be sitting there looking at everything that you have accomplished, enjoying the view, enjoying the lovely spaces that you have created in your life, in your workplace, right? In a work scenario, all the stuff that you have achieved. And this is going to be a time of inner reflection. This is going to be a time of contemplation to a certain extent, like, okay, what did I do good, what did I not do good, how is this energy changed, what have I learned, so on and so forth. It's going to be a time where you sit down and sort of take a moment or more to figure out what went right, what went wrong, and where I can do better. And it's going to be very, very nice. It's going to be very helpful for you to do that. Okay, so romance and relationships. All right. So again, it could, this could be talking about romantic situations. This could be talking about significant relationships in your life. This could have, because we are social people, we interact with people, right? So relationships are also important in our life. So coming from the past, you have here, this is the Page of Cups in the reverse. This is interesting, right? So in the past, again, you haven't been very, very satisfied with the way the energies have moved in your relationships, especially the emotional connections and bonds that you have created. So whether it is romantic or whether it is with friends or with relatives or whatever it is, you have always felt that you don't necessarily connect 100% or completely with the other person, or they don't understand you, or they think you are a big drama queen. That is, but you may not necessarily be that. You are not that person, and at the same time, sometimes you are going through stuff which they just cannot relate to. There's that feeling of disconnect, and that's where you're coming from. And right here, right now, in the present, it's the Four of Cups. You're not necessarily feeling very social. You're not necessarily feeling like, oh, I need to go and talk to people, meet with people. Even if you're single, you don't want to go out there and date because you think that, if no matter what, I'm probably not going to be understood by this person. If you're already in a relationship, again, you're like, what am I doing here? This guy doesn't necessarily like me, or this girl doesn't necessarily understand what I'm all about. So you're thinking like, but at the same time, you don't want to change anything, you don't want to move, you don't want to upset the status quo, so to speak. You just want to keep going, but there's this somewhere you are now feeling the disconnect. So now coming to first quarter, Ace of Cups. This is so powerful. Oh my God, look at the cups thus far, right? Ace of Cups, the cards are telling you, listen, be that as it may, whether your friends don't understand you, whether your loved ones don't understand you, whether your significant other, you may feel is not feeling that connection. You need to first reconnect with yourself and realign with yourself, okay? Your happiness, the source of your happiness should be you first and foremost, and primarily you and only you, okay? And this is going to be that powerful journey that you're going to embark upon in the first quarter, is rediscovering yourself, reconnecting with your inner self, and sort of bonding with your own self and finding the core of your own happiness, the true core of your happiness. Because if you're happy, then it doesn't matter anything else, right? Second quarter, what happens is we get, okay, so this is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, okay? Second quarter, the cards are saying that, you need to be patient. You need to spend some time nourishing the relationships that you have. You can't expect everybody to understand you from the moment they have met you. You can't expect, of course, you also do not understand someone right, within the first 5 minutes of meeting them. Sometimes relationships need to be cherished, they need to be nourished, they need to be taken care of. And don't go about it in a haphazard manner, but you are going to probably go about it in a little bit of a haphazard manner, and trying to, expect the other person to understand you even before, you have given them enough time to understand you, or enough, data to understand you. So it's going to be, you're going to feel very, very impatient and in a rush to get to somewhere with that relationship, manifest something worthwhile with that relationship. Take things slow, man. Take things easy. You will get there. It's not like you won't, but don't be in such a mad rush. Finally, we come to the third quarter, and here we have Nine of Wands. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so see, like I said, not always all the upright cards are positive. This Nine of Wands tells me ultimately you will realize, or even at least the other person will put, a distance. You see, when you rush the relationship, or you rush the situation, people often push back, and you're going to be looking at that and feeling that pushback. You're going to be like, hey, I gave it so much. I really gave my all, but maybe that person needs to be talked to or approached with their own pace. And so in the third quarter, you will feel that pushback, and then you will be like, okay, fine, I'll also put up walls. No, you need to take a moment to understand what is a good distance, or how close is close enough, that sort of thing. This is going to be an important lesson for you here in the third quarter, right? So take it easy, but be careful. Don't get too, too reactive here in this space, okay? And in the fourth quarter, what is it? What do we have here? We have the King of Pentacles reversed. All right, so in the fourth quarter, finally, things do start to move. Things are, it's a different from, say, a routine that you have sort of developed or established or liked or appreciated. There's no routine. There's something new. There's something different. There's something, maybe you're setting a new routine, or you're coming up with new ways to relate or connect with the other persons, right? So finally, I think the perspective shift is coming by over here, and there's a lot of wisdom and learning that is actually being implemented over here. So I feel finally in the fourth quarter, things are going to be, well, less boring and more, implementing of all the lessons that have been learned thus far. Okay, so now let's look at what the Lenormand cards have to say about how best you can take advantage of, whatever is going on in this year. Oh, look at that, how it starts with the cross. Cross is all about burdens, hardships, and difficulties. That 10 of swords there, right? But then finally, with the house card after it, those burdens will ease. You will find, comfort and sort of sanctuary, safety, and all of that. But then, oh my goodness, Scythe comes along and that also shifts and changes. So it's going to be like a brief respite, okay? So that brief respite, how are you going to take advantage? What are you going to harvest from it? There you go. You're going to create that sense of stability in yourself. Even though it's a brief respite, that will be the seed that you sow and create that sense of grounding, anchoring, and sort of steadiness and stability in your life there. And oh my god, what is going on? And that also often comes to it wraps up. So here's what my cards, I think, with this, because we asked the cards here, what is the lesson, how best okay, how best you can take advantage of this 2020. Here's your very interesting guidance, okay? Those brief moments of stability, of grounding, yes, they are there, but always remember, nothing is permanent, okay? Your stability can be taken away from you in a moment. Your grounding can sort of, be wrapped up and ended, or the feeling of stability, or how do you say, strength in one place can be. Nothing is permanent, nothing is stationary. You gotta live moment to moment. You gotta be able to transition fairly quickly. And it's reflective of the energies here. It keeps coming and going. So remember that whatever moments you may get, those are good. Make the most of it, but do not commit yourself to a routine. Do not commit yourself to something, how do you say it, same. That will not work for you. Just go with the flow. Keep going with the flow, yes, but in a much more aware manner. Go only in that flow which works for you. Go only in that path that gives you the most joy. All right, and do something different from the norm, and you will be able to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. And for your inner work, the guidance here is geode, descent, confusion. Okay, you have within you a treasure trove of wisdom and knowledge and experience and all of that. But if you descend into that way too much, or way too soon, or way too deep, all you're going to accomplish is confusion. And maybe you do that. You need to deal with it. You need to be able to come to terms with that confusion. You need to be able to understand that confusion, and you need to be able to make sense of that confusion. So before you dive deep, be prepared. Be ready to handle what is coming your way. Be ready to take what is coming your way, okay? Don't walk into any situation unprepared. Otherwise, you will create more problems for yourself, okay? Wow, this was an interesting ride, 2020, right? So again, like I said earlier, if you want a personal reading, I do an annual reading, which will be very specific to you, and which will give you a month by month kind of a look at how 2020 will unfold only for you. So you can book that reading if you want to, if you feel called to do it. And if you resonated with this, if you resonated with any of this, please do put your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, hit the like button. All of that encourages me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please go ahead and do that, because I like to do all these videos a lot. It's fun, right? And I will talk to you again in my next video. Until then, be good, stay good, and play with your cards. Bye now. Hey guys! So you chose a third pile, which was the rose quartz, and we're going to look into how 2020 will shape up for you. And just to give you a quick overview of what this reading will be all about, we're looking at here. This Asurabito Tarot will give us the general overview. The Here we go. The Steampunk Tarot will give us the overview for work and career and money, finances, all of that. Then the romantic aspect will be covered by the Secret Tarot. The Lenormand is all about the guidance to make the most of this year 2020, and this is all about the inner landscape oracle. Will talk about the inner work that is sort of there in the cards for you. Okay, so, and of course the very easy to understand sort of format that I have created here: past, present, and the 4 quarters of the year. Okay, so now this is of course a very big picture overview of it, and it's very sort of generalized. There may be parts of it that you might resonate with, parts you might not resonate with, which is fine, which is okay. Take what works for you and go with that. But if you need a reading, an annual reading specifically for 2020, which is more focused on you, which is more personal to you, then I do a annual reading. I recently even put up a video about how I do that spread. I'll link it up here. You can totally go see that spread video, see how I do that reading. If you like what you see, you can totally order that reading from me. The links will be there in the video description. So that would be more focused for you. But this, you can check this out. That reading is a totally different spread, of course. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get into this one. This is the general overview for 2020. So let's see. The past. We have here temperance. The past was pretty okay. There was a lot of learning, a lot of lessons, but you are coming from a pretty good place where you've been open to learning what these experiences were all about. You felt deeply connected and maybe even guided on some levels by all the powerful positive energies in your world. You tried different things, and it was a journey for you, but you have always been the one to take it calmly and steadfastly and positively, and you have learned, you have changed and transformed in positive and powerful ways because of those experiences. That is not to say that some of those were, there might have been a lot of ups and downs, but you have traveled that path and come so far with a very, very different approach and perspective about things, and it's getting better. And now here you are, death card. This is very interesting. This is you in the present, and death doesn't mean that you're going to die or none of that. That is not what death is. Death is all about leaving the old stuff behind. So with all of these experiences that have transformed you, you are going through a beautiful transformation and change inside and out. You're letting go of your past beliefs, ideas, negative thoughts, negative processes, all of that. Everything is put behind you, and so you embark on this new year, and that transition is there. It's in progress. This is where you're at right now. You're letting go of all the old stuff that has not worked for you. Historically, it has been proved that this doesn't work. And you're letting it all go. You're dealing with maybe other endings in your life that came and went during the last year, and you're letting go of all the pain, all of it. It's all the stuff that has been accumulated, all the junk really that has been accumulated in your life, in your psyche. Everything is being removed, and as you're learning the lessons and then removing them, you're seeing the lessons clearly and letting rid of them, and you're moving forward in a very beautiful, knowledgeable way. Okay, so let's come to first quarter. We have 7 of Pentacles. Don't be in a hurry, okay? I mean, I understand that you have learned so much and there is so much intrinsic value that you're seeing in the things around you. But sometimes, even as this learning sort of settles in, right? Or even as you sow the seeds for the future, you can't rush things, right? Look at nature. That's why I think, if you look at this card, see, Seven of Pentacles, they always show nature, right? Nature takes its own sweet time growing. You cannot do anything to really rush it, right? Like when you plant a seed in the ground, right? You can maybe water it, you can fertilize the soil, perhaps you can, and then you just basically have to wait as the seasons come and go. That seed will sprout or sometimes not, but you do what you have to do, and you have to be patient and wait for the results. That is what that is what nature teaches us. It will come in its own sweet time, but when it will come, it will come. So you are nourishing something, you are growing something. Don't be impatient, even if it's taking longer than what you thought, right? The first quarter, your job is to just keep nourishing all the things that you are taking care of. The results will come in a little bit later, but they will come in, okay? So don't be in a hurry. Again, second quarter is the King of Cups reversed. So you're going to be dealing with, either this is going to be you or someone around you. This is a person. Let me tell you what it is. This person is going to be in an emotional state, and this person is going to be emotionally not able to navigate through whatever territory he or she is navigating through. And that is either you or someone around you, and you're going to be dealing with that in the second quarter. You're also going to be dealing, on a personal level, you will be dealing with situations where you are not able to figure out, because you're getting way too emotionally involved in everything. And that's why you're not being able to see things, from maybe an intellectual perspective or from a very practical perspective. You are looking at everything from an emotional standpoint, and that confuses you to some extent. And that's why you can't navigate through that. So be aware of this. See, here's the thing. These are just your energy trend projections to a certain degree. This is how the energy will be like. Therefore, this is how you will most likely react. You can change it, right? Right here you can change it. Right here you can change it. That's why then this card will become upright, basically, right? You're getting how I see things. And yeah, and so come to see third quarter again, Ace of Swords. This confusion seems to be following you. This whole misdirection seems to be following you. You need to really, really take control of your thoughts, your mind, your clarity of purpose even. And you need to really, really turn things around. Otherwise, you will be manipulated, you will be confused, you will be taken advantage of, and it's not a good idea, especially after this. This is such a formidable beginning, and then you can't squander it off like that. Okay, all of this wisdom, all of this learning, or all of that, letting go, don't just waste that on on being just becoming how do you say it? I don't want to say it in a negative way, but probably these are the words. Just becoming, someone who suffers through the circumstances. No, I want you to overcome the difficult ones and conquer them. If you start right here, who knows? Dominoes effect. Things will change by the time you come here. And let's see, quarter four. Here we are. Strength. I do see hope for you. I do see that you just might take these words to heart and implement this, because the energy definitely shifts. We have the strength card here in the fourth quarter, and there you are ruling. There you are. You are, how do I say it? You are conquering. You will be in a position where you will finally, you work hard here, and the energy shifts right here. You will conquer, you will overcome, you will thrive over the tough aspects. Not only that, you will be gently guiding them in the direction you want it to go to. So right here, all this wisdom that you have accomplished, this is going to be your testing ground, the first 3 quarters, implementing this wisdom and making sure you change your energies and shift it. And once you have accomplished that, that's when you will come here in the fourth quarter and guide it where you want it to go. So this is going to be a deeply sort of, inner work kind of energy for you overall. Wow. Now let's see what the cards have in store for you in your work and career life. We have, coming from the past, Captain of the Submersible. So again, this is your King of Cups reversed. Do you see that? Okay. So again, in the past, again, you were emotionally driven. At work, you were driven by emotion. Maybe you have a creative field that you work in, or maybe you just tend to get very emotional about your work, and that kind of puts you in a place where you don't necessarily handle things very well, and you kind of drive it in all the ways that are not necessarily good for you. So this is the energy coming in from the past. But right here in the present, finally, with the Captain of Engines, this is your King of Pentacles, right? You finally say, no, I want to be in a space work-wise where I'm stable, where I can see what I'm doing, where I drive things to where I want them to go. So I think the effect starts happening, all the work that you're doing here. And you want to be more in charge, more in control. And that's where you even start looking at the long-term picture of your career. And you want to have that stability in your life, and you want to work towards building it. So in the first quarter, we have the 9 of Leviathans. Let me make this straight for you for a moment. So this is your 9 of Pentacles card. It is in the reverse. Okay, it's interesting to see pentacles like that. But there you go. You want to create a situation where consistently you will be in a fortunate or practically working well, earning well kind of a situation. And so you're trying to make that happen. You're maybe looking at the short-term picture here, not necessarily looking at the long-term picture. You're getting there. You're not there yet, but you're getting there. You start the journey, and that is important, because many times we just make plans, we don't start the journey. And you will start the journey. So that is a good thing. In the second quarter of 2020, you have 10 of Engines here, which is your 10 of Wands. Yeah. Oh, this is Captain of Engines, Captain of Wands actually, but I think the energy is the same. Yeah. 10 of Wands here. So you will have a lot of stuff on your plate. There will be way too much work that you will unnecessarily maybe accumulate in your sort of to-do list or project roster or whatever. Be very, very aware of this. There's too much going on, and you may suddenly find yourself quite overwhelmed. Maybe it is important that you delegate, or maybe you just don't take on way too much. I understand that you want to create that stability. You want to drive where everything goes. You want to direct where it goes. And you want to have the energy of prosperity flowing consistently through your life. But taking on way too much can also be a recipe for disaster, because then you are losing track of things and you're taking way too much on yourself. So pay attention to that. There'll be a workload, but you can avoid it. You cannot take on so much, or you can definitely find ways to delegate it. In the third quarter, you get the Lady of Submersibles in the reverse. Check her out. She is oh, let me hold this. She is the Queen of Cups. It's beautiful, no? I love this deck. Okay, so yeah, so it's going to be an emotional moment, because again, a lot of stuff going on at work, and all this work that you are doing, you are going to find it hard, especially maybe because of the workload. You're going to be like, oh my god, I took on so much, and emotionally it might be wearing down on you. So be aware of this. Excuse me. Be aware of this, and be sure you don't put yourself in this spot, right? Be careful about this, and you might just find your situation changed a little bit, more emotionally in control. That's where you need to be, rather than not in control, right? And finally, there you go, Eight of Leviathans. This is Eight of Pentacles. You're working at it, you're creating, you're doing what this is very interesting. Strength is also eight. Oh wait, yeah, it is eight in this one as well, and eight here. It's a very beautiful card. I love this eight of Pentacles card, actually. Eight of Leviathans. You're working at it, you're creating, you're building something, essentially going in the direction, really working towards your big picture goals and aims in your career, right? You may be learning something, you might be putting yourself through some kind of work and learn kind of combo situation, a small training at work maybe, whatever it is, or maybe you acquire a new skill. Whatever it is, you are getting better, you're improving yourself here. And this is a good sign, okay? So all this learning does not go to waste. You are implementing it. Let's see what happens in the love and romance and relationships department. Okay. Right on. This is the energy from the past. Wow, the High Priest. This is interesting, right? So when we're talking love, romance, relationships, we're talking a situation which was very much in confirmation with the rules of the world that we live in. Okay, so you could be in a very stable and good marriage or relationship, or you could be looking at getting into such a situation for yourself, or whatever it is. If you're single, you want to remain single, and you're finding a means or method of making it brilliantly the norm. Right? You're confirming to the norm. I don't always see this card in a bad light. It's not a bad card, so to speak. I don't know, maybe because I'm personally a Capricorn, I don't see anything wrong with having rules, but I'm just saying that it's not necessarily coming in from a bad place. You want something stable, dependable, steady, and something that everybody is also okay with, and that's the energy you're coming from. Coming to the present, though, what do we have here? Four of Pentacles in the reverse. There might be situations where you may not necessarily find what you're looking for. This is where you're at. You're looking for this, or this is you figured out what you want with this High Priest card. But then you come here in the present, and you start looking for it, or even if you are already in a relationship, or you're already married, or you're already or even if you're single and you want to create that nice little space for being single and happy, you find yourself here at a loss for finding the right sort of how do you say it, the right ground for it, right? You find it tough to create a scenario where you can live your best life the way you want it, and everybody's okay with it. It's like you find yourself explaining your choices to everybody, and it doesn't please you so much. So coming to the first quarter, there's going to be a lot of different things. With that Five of Wands, there'll be a bunch of things that you will try. If you're in a relationship, again, you will try this combination, that combination. There might even be a bunch of difference of opinion with your significant other over which is the right approach to take to create the ideal situation for your relationship. Even as a single person, if you're also dating, there's just too many things, too many confusing, clashing situations. But you know what, you're giving it a good, honest try. Effort, you get points for efforts. Okay. Coming to the second quarter, here we have the Hermit card, and he's reversed. So finally you are going to maybe start to apply the wisdom that you have learned from this experiences thus far. It might also be that if some of you might even seek counseling or therapy couples therapy, relationship counseling, that sort of thing might also happen. One way or the other, you are looking, you're taking that wisdom, applying it, right? Whatever's your inner wisdom. And or if that's not happening, you're reaching out and asking others who are available for their wisdom, their input, their guidance. One way or the other, things start to move. It's not just all in your head, it's out there, and it's hopefully you're striving to get better. In the third quarter, here we have the Eight of Swords. Ooh, this is the card of self-imposed limitations, and literally this is what it is. You have confined yourself to this space. Okay, in this third quarter, you will find yourself in a relationship or in a situation, being single, being in a relationship, or looking, or whatever your situation is. You will find that the limitations that you have placed upon yourself are literally what you have placed upon yourself. Nobody has come to you and said, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. It is you who has decided that, hey, I can't do this, I can't do that. And you will be fighting with your own fears and the limitations that you have placed against yourself. And you'll find that very restricting, that space is very constricting. You can't move, you can't do, all the fun things you want to do. So what is stopping you from breaking these barriers? These limitations were put there by you for a reason. Yes, maybe those reasons have changed, or maybe those restrictions need to be redefined. Do what you need to do to figure it out. Don't put yourself in this cramped situation. You deserve way better, especially with all the wisdom that you already have. What are you doing? Excuse me. Finally, in the fourth quarter, again, see, everything seems to be working out for you in the fourth quarter. It's like all these 3 quarters, there's a lot of learning to be done, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of stuff to be done, but it all pays off in the end. Here you have the Empress card. So finally, you come to the end of the journey, and in the fourth quarter, you say, okay, I'm the mistress of my kingdom, I'm the ruler of my kingdom, I own my world, and I create my world. So be it the lovely relationship I want to have with my partner, there you go, I'm bringing my full, beautiful Empress self in here. Now let's see what happens. If you're single and you want to remain single, you'll be like, hey, I'm the Empress of my own world, and I don't need anybody else to complete me, quote unquote. I'm just complete by myself, and I'm happy. I'm the Empress of my world here. And if you are single and looking, there you go. You will beautifully come to terms with the aspects of your femininity, with your feminine energy, your womanhood, and all of that. And or if you're a man, if you identify as a male, then you're going to identify with the aspects of femininity and womanhood that you are looking to get into your life, and you are comfortable with that. You are comfortable either being a strong woman, an amazing woman, and you're comfortable with your feminine side. Like, just to become a strong woman, you don't have to be very masculine, and at the same time, you don't have to let go of your femininity. You are comfortable with who you are and what you are. And of course, if you're a guy watching this video, then and you're looking for a woman who is in following these same qualities, point is, you just embrace this beautiful energy, and you're like, hey, this is me, and it's beautiful, powerful, and you rule. So fourth quarter is where everything starts to come together for you, I would say, roughly, right? This is the trend. But you need to put in the work, okay? This is not going to just magically happen. You need to put in the work. And I feel you Rose Quartz people are ready to do that. That's probably why this guidance is coming through for you, okay? And of course, we have guidance. So let me see what it is. Clover, garden, stork, whips, and key. There you go. So in a lucky break, especially in your circle of friends, or friend circle, society, community, there'll be a lucky break that comes in from there, or which is in that specific area, circle, friends, whatever. This lucky break is going to help you transition your life in a better way, take it to the next level. And this is something, whips is something that is kind of like an angry back and forth, so you will need to try again and again, over and over. Okay, so it's not like the first time you take off it's going to be like zoom. No, you're going to take off, maybe fall, or maybe not able to take off a little bit. It's going to have to give it a few tries before it works, and it will work. See the key coming in at the end. Ultimately everything works out. This is the key. Try and try until you get to that point where you get better, or you fly the way you wanted to fly to begin with. But you have to try first, and over again, till you get 100% there. And that is the key. This back and forth is important for you. This repetition will become important, and that is the key for you to achieving that, transitioning into that successful space. So there you go. That's why you have all 3 quarters where you're trying. See, this is all matching up. And let's see what the inner work is for you. Okay, you have choice, galaxy, and past. Wow, this is really powerful. Okay, you have a whole lot of choices, you have a whole lot of options. In fact, you have a galaxy worth of options. Okay, and here, in which to deal with all the memories of your past, and to take those lessons from your past and to implement them. Ultimately, it's how you're looking at this. It's how you're looking at the bigger picture of your life. Because past is something that we already know. That's why we turn towards it, right? The past is something that we are completely aware of, and that's why we keep turning towards it. But in the bigger picture, the galaxy of possibilities and events and situations and everything, it's just a tiny blip on the radar. So you have that choice. How are you going to take all these experiences and translate them into your life, so that you can make the most of all the available options and possibilities that are there in front of you, so that you can free yourself from the grip of the painful experiences of the past and the fears that often come from the past, but also free yourself so that you can live your best life. And exercise, this is a choice that you have. And how best can you exercise this choice? This is going to be the inner journey for you this particular year. Wow, this is all of it. All the cards were like, yeah, that's it. So again, I sincerely hope that most of this reading sort of resonated with you. If it did, I would appreciate it a lot if you put down your comments in the comment section, right? Let me know what you thought of it. Okay, and again, just to reiterate, if you want a reading that is super personal and specific to you, I do offer an annual reading, and you can see the video of how I do it, and you can order one for yourself using the links in the description below the video. Okay, so I will see you again in my next video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this one, and please also hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I do a bunch of videos all the time, all to do with the cards and with the tarot, and I will see you again in my next video. Thank you so much. Stay good, be good, play with your cards. Bye now. Hey guys! So you chose the 4th pile, which was the amber pendant. So this is going to be your reading for 2020. How will 2020 shape up for you? See, here we have, I'm just giving you a quick overview of what I'm going to do. This is the Sasarai Bito Tarot for the general overlook. overview, sorry. Then we have the steampunk tarot for the work and career and all of that. And then we have the secret tarot for the romance and relationships and that sort of thing. The dreaming whale and Norman for guidance on how to make the best of this year. And the cards from the inner landscape oracle for, inner work guidance and stuff like that. So we'll get to all this one by one. And let's start with the general reading. Now, again, this is a very simple, simplistic spread that I have sort of created here. This is your past. This is the energy of walking in, into 2020 with. This is where you're at, the present, here and now. This is first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter of 2020. And that's going to be how I will have, I will look at all the cards, all the other decks that I have here for each of those focus areas of your life. So this is how we will go about it. Now, this is going to be a generalized reading, correct? So some parts you might relate to, some parts you might not be able to relate to. So take what you relate to, leave the rest. That might be for someone else, And if you want a reading that is more focused on you, more specific to you, more related to your situation, then like more month by month. This is like quarter by quarter, but it's more month by month by month. Then there is an annual reading that I do offer, and you can see, I will put up a link up here. You can go see how I do that particular spread, and if that's something that resonates with you, you go ahead and order that reading from me so that I can be of more help to you, very specifically to you. Okay. All right. So now with that said, let's get going with our reading. Here is the energy coming in from the past. Wow, the Chariot. You've been running, you've been moving, things have been happening, you've been like out there, go getting, that sort of thing. You're making things happen. That's the energy coming in from the past. You believe that you are the co-creator of your destiny, and you want to make things happen. You like being in charge, you like being the one running the show, and you want to take things forward. You are strong-willed and you have powerful intent, and you just want to keep going forward. You don't want any breaks in the momentum. You don't want to stop for anything or anybody, right? And so here and now we have Three of Wands. So again, this is good. The momentum is going, things are moving. You're like it's like a brief pause. It's for some things, some projects, you need to wait for things from other people, other side. That's where you are. You're kind of taking a mini break in this journey. Long journeys, you do need to take a little bit of a break in between, and that's where you're at right here, right now. Assessing your situation, looking at the lay of the land, seeing where you need to go, what you need to do, that sort of thing, which is a good again. It's even in that paused state, so to speak, you're keeping the energy flowing. You're not like letting go of that vibe. So going forward, we have in the first quarter the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Not necessarily a bad energy here. I do believe that you're going to put in resources more than you receive the resources. This is how I'm seeing it here. It's like you're gonna, this is the time in the first quarter, maybe you are going to invest heavily in a few of your projects, or with a hope that things will flourish down the line. So if you have money that you have squared away or saved away for this specific purpose, or if you have if you've taken loans or something, I'm seeing huge investments in your own projects, in your own work, in your own life. Now, because this is a general outlook also, I see that like you might even spend some money doing repairs around your house, or buying stuff for yourself that you have always wanted to buy. And this is not squandering of money buying frivolous things. This is important stuff. This is you've saved money for this. You were waiting for your turn to go buy this, and you're going to go get all the stuff that you want and you need. So either if you're investing in projects or investing in your infrastructure, could be your house, could be your surroundings, could be everything around you, or buying stuff that you're going to need down the line. And this is where, so you've planned for this, you've saved money for this, and you're spending that money. But yes, you will see a significant dip in your savings there because of this. Okay, so coming down to the second quarter, we have the devil reverse. So this is good in a way, right? You've been caught up in maybe a loop of some projects or some situations or scenarios in your life where you felt that you were obligated or bound to do certain things for certain people. This devil reverse tells me that you are going to free yourself from such chains and binds and contracts and situations, scenarios, even relationships which were not necessarily working for you, where you felt that you were doing it more out of a sense of obligation and twisted sense of duty even, but not because you genuinely wanted something. It was not a very happy sort of a situation that you were in, and you felt always trapped and caught. And you're going to free yourself gently, slowly free yourself from this place, and find yourself lighter and happier and more somehow cleaner. I don't know, that's the word coming to me, like cleaning the slate, maybe, or cleaning your mind, freeing, cleaning the clutter, all of that, whatever had held you in its grasp, you free yourself from it, right? Coming to the third quarter, there you go, Six of Cups. Bloom where you're planted. I don't know, this is what I'm seeing, but this I'm also seeing, like, I see that you are going to reach deep within the well of your memory, within your past, within your life experiences, to search for the powerful energy that will keep you feeling more creative. I feel, I know this is very different from the traditional Six of Cups meanings, but I'm being more influenced by the card here, and what I'm feeling right now is that as you go into the third quarter of 2020, you will reach into your past. You will reach for the experiences from your past, reach to the situations, people from your past. Not maybe practically reach out to those people, but those memories. This is all about your feelings and your memories, and you will look at those memories and they will become the seeds that will help you nurture and grow and create something beautiful, that is something that will nourish you, sustain you, and pull you through all the stuff that has happened in the past. And you come to this point and you reach for something from your past to kind of help you grow forward and look at it in a perspective even. And it does its job. You do this, it's beautiful, and it's great. It's something empowering for you. And finally, in the fourth quarter is the Page of Wands reversed. So all this has given you a very strong sense of purpose, desire, faith, power, and you are gonna go out there and maybe go a little bit overboard also, trying to show off all that you have achieved and acquired and gained and lived. And you're gonna go out there and you wanna share it. You wanna show everybody, look, I did this. Let me show you how I did it. You can do it too. And it can be a little overboard, all right? So this is some, I guess this is a place you need to be a little bit careful. Don't go overboard. Don't impose that on other people. But at the same time, you're going to be excited because you've lived through all of this, and now you want to share it with the world that, hey, this is happening, this can happen, this can be done, I did it, so can you. And that's gonna be your vibe for the fourth quarter of 2020. So let's see how things sort of transpire and shape up in your work and career and all of that. So we have here the Seven of Leviathan. So this is your Seven of Pentacles reversed. Again, very interestingly, Chariot is 7. This is also a 7, two sevens on top of each other. So this is the energy coming in from the past. You have been pretty impatient. You have been like, come on, get going, get working, right? you do realize with this seven of leviathans, you need to nourish, you need to take care of certain things will happen at their own time sometimes, but you are in way too much of a hurry to get things going, and you have been frustrated because things don't necessarily happen in the speed or in the pace that you want it to. So that's the energy coming in from the past. So right here, right now, we have 10 of airships. This is your swords card, actually. Okay, so it's in the reverse. So it's like finally you're coming to terms with this energy of the past, because you've seen, because in the rush of getting things done or getting things moving, you've moved too quickly at times, and or before anybody was ready, or even before you were ready occasionally, and it has created a disaster now and then. So you have learned, or you have seen this happening with other people, and you have learned your lesson from all those experiences, and to now, right here, right now, you are here taking a moment, trying to see, okay, how can I take this lesson, implement it in a better manner in my work. So here you are. In the first quarter, we have regeneration machine, which is also equivalent to the judgment card. I feel in the first quarter at work, you are going to find yourself at the end of a very long struggle, finally in a place where you can start over. Okay, all the energy that you need to do that will come to you. Okay, all the investments and hard work and the lessons and this and that you have put into this situation will fructify. Is that a word? It will bear fruit, and it will, like, you will get the chance to start over, start afresh, and start from scratch, because all the stuff from the past will be done with. You can start from scratch all over again. Coming to the second quarter, we have the Ace of Leviathans. So finally, things get moving for you at work. Right? This is also the Ace of Pentacles. Finally, you see this. You get a chance to, put your resources into motion, to put your efforts and to start what you have been, kind of been itching to start. Finally, all the hard work that you have been putting in, all the stuff that you have been collecting, waiting, get started. Things get moving for you. Things start to, give results for you also. And, that second quarter is going to be very, very interesting and crucial. Coming to the third quarter, here we have the Technomancer, which is the Magician card in the reverse. So, it's good here. Despite being reversed, you will realize that, okay, you can't control and run every little thing, but at the same time, things are moving, things are happening. Don't get into the trap of getting caught in the ego trip of success. Okay, I do see a lot of success here, but this success brings ego. Reconnect with the experiences of the past if you need to do that. Reconnect with your true sense of self. Don't let your ego get the better of you, otherwise you are going to soon lose control of everything because of this ego. Okay, so coming to the fourth quarter, you have 6 of airships, which is equivalent to the 6 of swords. Things are going to move forward. Taking all these lessons and experiences in your grasp, you move forward with a lot of wisdom, with a lot of learning. Like you are observing things around you also. All sorts of things are happening, but you move forward with that experience and you take it to the next level, and you're learning your lessons as you go, and you're transitioning to something better. Looks like your career seems to be doing well. Okay, so let's come in and look at what the relationships. So this could be the relationships area. We're talking love relationships, romantic relationships. We could also be looking at relationships that are significant to you in this time period. So it could be with your friends, with your relatives, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's start with the energy of the past. We have, oh, look at that, we have 10 of swords. See how much interesting. Ten of Swords in the reverse. There you go. Look at this card upright, right? Now this is in the reverse though. So there was something in the past which was very, 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 very painful, and you have come out of that space. You're learning and dealing with this pain of the past, especially when it comes to relationships. Maybe you hurt real bad, or you went through something really life changing in that way, because you're dealing with a lot of hurt and pain, and that's the energy you're coming from. You're coming to terms with all these experiences and all the pain that you have gone through, and you are dealing with it. So right here, right now, is the Six of Cups. Oh my God, look at how many times the cards have come. This is like a reinforcement, right? So now what are you trying to do? You are trying to again reach into the past, reach into the memories of the past, the good memories, okay, and turn them into a source of happiness and joy. Again, this card comes with a fair bit of warning at this point over here. Warning how? Sometimes, especially when we are looking at breakups, because this can be breakups too, right? Sometimes when we are looking at a breakup of a relationship, the temptation is really high after the breakup, or a few months after, a few weeks after, depending on how fast or slow you process things. Temptation is to look at the back at the memories of that relationship, and only focus on the good parts of those memories, and say, hey, we had it so good, why did we break up? I want to get back together with him or her. See, this is that last bit is where you're entering dangerous territory. Look at the good things. Let those good things serve as a source of nourishment and joy. But remember, you all broke up for a reason. Huh? You all broke up for a very good reason. Remember that reason too when you're reminiscing, okay? Because you all broke up for a damn good reason. Even if, let's say, he broke up with you, or excuse me, or she broke up with you and did not explain to your heart's content why. Does not matter. They had their own reasons, whatever those reasons were, whether they are logically okay to you or not. This breakup happened for a reason, right? So even though you may want to focus on the memories of the past, focus on the good energies and take those good energies. Remember, you all broke up for a good reason too, whatever that reason may be, and move past it. Don't just dwell on it and want to keep going back there, because remember, back there was and will be pain even if you go back there, okay? Oh boy, I can't even stress on this combo long enough. But it will take up like 2 hours. So I'm not going to go there. I hope you get the message, right? Now, let's come to the first quarter. Here we have the Queen of Wands. Now look at her. So ultimately, I guess maybe because of my fair warning, you guys understand. And in the first quarter, you guys are like, okay, I am this amazing, awesome person, and I'm just totally ruling. So you are going to go out there, you're going to be the best person who you are, okay? Whether you start dating again, whether you want to remain single, whether you're already in a relationship, no matter what your situation is, you're going to be the best version of yourself. You're going to be lovely, you're going to be warm hearted, you're going to be positive, focused, and full of that drive energy. And that's where you're at in the first quarter. It's going to be your best self out there. Now in the second quarter, again, you get the Three of Wands. See how many times these cards are getting repeated? I can't even believe it. So there's Three of Wands showing up here, okay? So things will just, you're moving along. Things are moving along. This is the energy. You still, the second quarter, things keep moving forward with that same positive vibe. And you're starting to see good reactions from the other end of the other side, the opposite side, whatever, right? You're seeing good reactions from the people, from friends. This change is welcome. Then comes the third quarter, and here we have the King of Swords. Now here's two ways this can happen. Either you become this King of Swords, or you're dealing with the King of Swords. If you become the King of Swords, you are going to be, because of this experience, you are going to think, oh yeah, I know everything, I understand everything now, I am the boss, this is how it should be. You're gonna be, becoming one of those cranky, harsh people who says, I understand everything, I know everything. And you're gonna be like, maybe telling everybody sometime, or laying down the law to a degree that, okay, this is how it is supposed to. Let's say you don't turn into the King of Swords, you will encounter such an energy, okay? Such a person who thinks they know everything and they know all the rules, and you have to run by their rules and follow their rules and so on. This person can be harsh, also intellectual. So, also getting into an argument with this person is going to be a little rough ride, because you need to be mind sharp in order to face off with this person, okay? So if it's you, be careful. If you're facing someone like that, again, just, use your logic more than your feelings when you're talking to this person. And then coming to the fourth quarter, here we have the Queen of Swords. Look at that. The king meets the queen. So now, along with being passionate and all of that and warm, you are now going to, maybe because of this experience, you're going to, maybe if you became the King of Swords, you will slowly transition into the Queen of Swords. Or if you met the King of Swords, you're going to still, eventually you're going to be equal, the Queen of Swords. And what happens is you bring in the much needed feminine compassion into the picture. You're not just completely all harsh and intellectual in mind. You're also bringing compassion into the picture. You're bringing your own unique sort of take of experience into the picture. And you're softening the edges a little bit and making it more genuine and powerful. Another aspect is, as you deal with people, you are not going to suffer fools gladly. You have, you develop a sort of a limit and tolerance for bullshit, and there's only so far people can bullshit around you. So it's gonna be good. You're gonna, I think down here after all of this, you're gonna come to a point where you take control of your life in powerful ways, in empowering ways, and healing ways, and you're going to stand up for yourself and be yourself. Regardless of whether you get back out there into into dating or into the relationship situation, whether you're already in a relationship, whether you're single and looking, single and not looking, doesn't matter. This is your journey through 2020. You regain your sense of self and balance. The Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords coming together. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's see what the cards have to say. How do you make the best of 2020 for yourself? Birds, sun, heart, snake, ring. Oh, okay then. You need to, you need to talk things over with someone, discuss things with someone, and gain the clarity, okay, going forward. Because especially in terms of your, following your heart's desires, be it love, be it your work, whatever it is that your heart desires, you are going to have to talk to people or talk to someone who knows, right, and gain the required clarity and enlightenment, really, so that you can follow your heart's desires. And this can be complicated. This can involve a little trickiness. It can involve a little bit of a betrayal, even, or you might have to deal with this experience. But I don't see that in the prediction, so that's why I'm saying snake can also be tricky, complicated, twisted, right? So whether be it your heart's desires that are a little complicated and twisted, or be it the path to getting your heart's desire, maybe it is complicated or tricky or twisted. Whatever it is, you are going to have to make that kind of a tricky promise, and keep that tricky promise to yourself. So all this that you have known, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be simple, it's not going to be as straightforward as we have seen it. There's going to be some tricky parts to navigate, some subtle, not so subtle parts to navigate, but you will get through it. Promise yourself that you will get through it, and you will get through it. Okay, keep that promise to yourself. Do not betray that promise to yourself. And you have your mountain, sun, and decay. Look at that, right? The inner work. The inner work that you face through this whole entire year is you have come a long way. You've come, you've done. Here the mountain is very different from the Lenormand mountain, right? But here what I see is this mountain has this long path. There's a lot of, the moon phases there with the sun again. Sun brings light illumination. So you've taken a long, complicated path to the top. You maybe have faced a bunch of hurdles. You've gone through it over and over. You need to really look at it, right? Because what has happened is, while all this has occurred, you have also collected, a lot of stuff, and it's been decaying. There's a lot of psychic, not psychic. I don't want to say it in that connotation. I want to say there's inside your psyche you have accumulated, or right, like how there's a perfect example. If you guys have ever seen like an aquarium, right? You need to regularly clean that out, right? Even if it's a fish bowl, you have to, time and again, you have to cleanse it, you have to clean it out. Why? Because even if there's water in there, and even if, let's say, the water is flowing and all of that, something, or sediment settles down, and if you keep it in there too long, it starts to decay, it starts to rot away, and it's not obviously good for the fish that are there in that aquarium or that pool, that fish bowl. So this is the inner work that you need to do, because you've come far and you've learned a lot, but you have not paid attention to the sediment which is gathering at the bottom, which is starting to, or which will start to decay. You need to look at the darker aspects. Look at this. You need to look at the tricky, darker aspects of your nature, of your real self, and you need to really stop tricking yourself. You need to stop going down that path over and over, because this is going to eat away at you from the inside. Make sure you do the necessary work to cleanse it. And by necessary work, I'm talking sometimes shadow work, I'm talking sometimes therapy, I'm talking sometimes counseling, I'm talking sometimes meditation, I'm talking all kinds of this kind of inner work that can be done to, look at the stuff that is, deep down below, and that needs to be gently scraped off, cleansed, removed from your psyche, so that, it's clean. It's pure again. It's a space where you can thrive again. Okay, so in terms of inner work, there's a lot that you need to be looking at. Okay, in terms of guidance also, there's a lot that you need to be looking at, especially with the tricky aspect of your nature. Nothing wrong with being tricky, personally, if you ask me, but at the same time, it is also something to be looked at. Why is it when a situation is straightforward, you feel the need? Okay, so this is the guidance for people who chose Amber. This is going to be how 2020 shapes up for you. Again, if you need a more personal reading or a more focused reading, for yourself, that is only for you, and that is more detailed because it's month by month, then yes, I do offer such an annual reading, and you can find the link in the video description and order one for yourself. Okay, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, and thank you so much for choosing this option. And if you liked it, if it resonated for you, please do put a comment in the comment section below. It really encourages me. Also, give this video a like. That also encourages me. And most of all, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because that encourages me a lot. Okay, all of it, whatever good stuff, it all encourages me. Just do it. So I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Please give this video a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where I post my card a day readings every day. You can also order a reading for yourself, or you can learn how to read tarot from me, of course. All of these links are in the description, so check that out. I will see you again in my next video. Until then, stay good, be good, and play with your cards. Bye now.